We got Quill Will here. Do your thing, bro.
All right. Let me say, can't always stay woke because I dare to dream. Besides, reality ain't all that it's cracked up to be. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear when you're from a place where things ain't really what they appear to be. Or so it seems. Blurred lines rip the fabric of time and space at its seams. Ambition is my drug, hooked like vintage Kareem. Future bright, but my Ray-Bans tinted the scene. Keep me grounded. Flights on a rainy day. Storms in my mental got me lost trying to find my way. But there ain't a GPS that leads you to success. Got to stay up, but this Hennessy relieves my stress. Looking for the answers at the bottom of the bottle. While life is racing by me and I'm mashing on the throttle. God body excellence. This is not a fluke. It's like these verses came from Luke the way I'm passing on the gospel. So
that was
bars. So it's a little something right there. Bars. I got one more I can give y'all. Okay. This is newer. I've been fiddling around with this. Level after level, devil after devil, iron sharp as iron. I was built to never settle. Blessed to be the man I am, can live my life in peril. Focused on the task at hand, his purpose for this vessel. The word demands us all to be strong and courageous, standing in the face of evil. He'll never forsake us. Let love be genuine. Hold fast to what is good. But I really don't know if these rules apply as they should, because it's brothers killing brothers, cops killing brothers, diamonds in the dirt, sons buried by their mothers. And so many of our queens are doing obituary covers. Let her know that heaven is the only thing that's above her. Be fierce in pursuit of your mission. Hold steady when the storm gets to fogging your vision. Understand that there is a greater purpose for your life. Faint they failed me yet. I've been stopped walking by my sight.
Hey.
Don't get coronavirus in your heart.
Let's do it.
It's the base.
LOSO__G. DK, the engineer.
You go, boy.
What's going on? It's your boy Quill Will. Dean of the new school. That's where the Don comes from.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You know, I'm here representing Philly. I see my man with the Cowboys hat on, and it's hurting my heart.
Always.
Oh yeah, he's a little special, but little.
Very special. It takes a certain brand of idiot to be a Cowboys fan.
Oh man, here we go.
This episode's already good.
Yeah. Yeah, at least the Eagles had McNabb. They had, chunky soup and shit.
Yeah, you get chunky soup, and you get chunky soup, and you get disappointment. That's what you get.
Hey, well, at least we got a recent.
Whoa, no, you're a Cowboys fan. What are you talking about? Disappointment? Come on, bro.
We got a recent ring. You ain't seen a ring.
Oh yeah, that is true. And the thing is, I can relate to what you're doing, Ugo, because as a Yankees fan, I see other Yankees fans. They say, "Oh, you had 27 championships," but it's like, bro, when's the last time we won one? That's not a valid argument.
09.
Don't even start. Don't even start that. Don't even start that.
Quill's not gonna like that because in 2009 it was Yankees. I think it was the Phillies. I think it was.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. That's
supposed to be our dynasty. It was supposed to be our dynasty.
Supposed to be
ruined.
Yankees. Yanks in 6. I said Yankees in 6 at the beginning. So, oops.
I mean, we do smoke Phillies in New York. That is for sure. But no, hey, buddy. Whoa, slow down with the jokes there. No.
Hi-yo.
So Quill, you're an artist. I was looking you up a little bit. I came across some of your tracks on SoundCloud. Okay. What's your origin story? How'd you get into this?
Well,
he did it like it's a long story. He's like, oh shit.
He's like, oh fuck this shit again, yo.
I gotta think about it. No, but
come on, bro. You're gonna be iconic.
I see what you did.
See what I did there?
Just really back there. No, I started writing poetry. Middle school was writing poetry all through high school. Met up with some guys that Ugo is a little familiar with. My guy Abe, he knows Prince Abel, and another gentleman, Irv, who was a producer / rapper / percussionist / keyboardist / organist / whatever the hell he wants to be that day. He's just beyond gifted. and I got hooked up with them. They were doing the rap thing, and I kind of was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the rap thing too. I already got the poetry down, and it started from there in high school. Just running through college. That's where I met Ugo.
Mm-hmm. We are Penn State.
Penn State, doing shows with Ronnie Barrage. Shout out to Ronnie. Yeah, we did the MC Light together.
Mm-hmm.
We did was it Amiri Baraka, rest in peace, because he's passed on now.
Yeah, rest in peace, rest in peace.
We did several shows together. We even did some studio stuff. We're on a couple albums together, legitimately, legitimate albums.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. Got hooked up with a group, Anything Goes music group. Really honed my skill. Now I'm with a group, Letlow Sounds / Street Art, and I always represent my off-brand. That's always our little clique here, and within the clique, so to speak. But it's cool. We're together now, making music. We do have an album coming out, which I am featured on. I think in a couple of days. My one of my label mates and good friends, Lou Anthony, he's dropping an album. I am on one of the lead singles on that called Woodcrest, and it really speaks to what's going on in America right now, which is kind of cool. That should be dropping soon. So yeah, check us out. We're all over.
Damn, you busy, bro. So for people who haven't heard your music, how would you describe your style of music?
You definitely get the poet vibes from it. I'm very deliberate with my writing scheme, how I put together different things. Love my I'm not your just A B B C type of rapper. I definitely like that A B B A and all sorts of other writing styles. You'll hear me in double time, but primarily conscious stuff. Been doing there's a lot of religious overtones and undertones in what I've been working on recently. Getting in touch with the spiritual side is kind of leaking into some of the stuff I've been working on. But that best describes my writing style. You're definitely backpackish. You're definitely going to get that backpack. I'm kind of in that same pocket as Ugo is when it comes to that. Different rhyme pattern, different style, but kind of in that same lane. If you want a comparison, just to get an idea.
Do you do your own beats?
No, I do not do my own beats. I have a wonderful producer. His name is Irv. I did mention him. He he does a lot of the beats. The gentleman that I worked on some of the projects on SoundCloud and other areas, I'm not working with him right now. He's just he's been on a 5-year sabbatical. You see him when you see him, you don't when you don't, and then that's it. But no love lost, no hard feelings or nothing like that. But yeah, that's where majority of my production nowadays is coming from. Irv and just a couple of other producers I've been buying beats from.
Okay.
I listened to your stuff, and I definitely I was talking to Ugo about it. I said, conscious rapper, like, sounds like the type of music that we kind of grew up listening to. I'm assuming you were around the same age, since me and Ugo are the same age and went to Penn State at the same time. But and I don't know if you were going for this, but I thought of artists like Common, like Lupe, like Mos Def in regards to just it being lyrical. I'm not as into music as you two would be. Listen to it more, just growing up and here and there. But I like your music, bro. Your music's dope, bro. I like the lyrics.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's Lupe is definitely an influence. I will say that.
Same here.
The Cool. I saw the Cool. Yeah. You have something titled The Cool. Yeah, and I thought of Lupe.
Definitely Lupe inspired that record was interesting. The gentleman, he had given the idea to another producer. The producer made the beat. He hated it. hated it so much that he's like, you know what? We're gonna redo this beat right now, and he redid the beat right there on the spot, and I recorded that record in the basement at my ex label head's house, and it's just weird how that came together. It didn't take long. It didn't take long at all. One of my favorite.
You have mentioned DK the Commons and Lupe's and Most Defs. You could throw Kanye pre-MAGA.
Early Kanye, early Kanye. I thought of that. Except Kanye, I would say my fault. I want to say I think he's more lyrical than early Kanye. But keep going. Sorry.
Well, the thing is, early Kanye birthed the modern backpack sound. That you hear. Without pre-MAGA early Kanye, there's no Kid Cudi, there's no Drake, there's no Wiz Khalifa, there's no J. Cole, there's no Wale, there's no Big Sean. There's not a lot of the cats that are out that really came out in like the late 2000s. None of those dudes would be out if pre-MAGA Kanye didn't, get put on with Rockefeller. Because he basically made it cool to be a rapper and not be a gangster. like there was a GQ cover a couple years ago. I'll never forget. I think it was in 2010. My fourth year at Penn State. It was called Gangsta Killers, and it was. I'll never forget. It was Kid Cudi, Wale, and Drake. They were all sitting on washing machines, and it basically did a feature like, "Yo, these are the Gangsta Killers. Like these guys are going to take hip hop into the next generation," and I feel like they did. Obviously, I don't think Wale has had the commercial success that I feel like he deserves, for a number of reasons that, beyond who.
You're not biased?
Am I biased?
He does have he has the critical success.
He does.
But not the commercial success.
Agreed. Like from a single perspective, he's gone double platinum and triple platinum and all that stuff and whatever. But just in terms of like hardcore album sales, like there's only a select few that are really in the Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, Jay-Z, Kanye like category or whatever, but what I mean, but that I'll never forget that feature because as I was finishing up at Penn State and I got serious about music, those are the three dudes that I was following the most: Cudi, Drake, and Wale. Man, I still listen to all three of them to this day. I love those guys. It's
weird because when I think about it, when I think about that time frame, Wale was supposed to be one of the guys that was supposed to make it. It was the Wale, It was Big Sean. It was Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole. It was like those five guys. Were supposed to be really the future. And I guess Meek comes in maybe a little bit later on.
A little bit after that, because he was still on. He was still on the street mixtape circuit when they were going on.
Right. So it's like I was really leaning
the Chitlin circuit.
The Chitlin, the mixtape circuit. That was a Chitlin circuit for sure.
It's funny because I know one of Sean's producers. I went to high school with him. He produced for Sean, and he produced for Nipsey.
Okay.
Matter of fact, give you an idea. He produced the One Man Can Save the World. He did the keys for that, and he did the keys for Victory Lap intro.
Nice.
Which was pretty cool.
Nice.
I was hoping it's funny, Wale is kind of like the opposite of Sean in a sense where Big Sean has the commercial success, but maybe not the critical success. He's just like he's the fast burner single type of guy, but the albums don't really stick with you. But Wale has done really well with recent albums. Especially when he came out recently. I forget the title, but it did come out maybe about a month and a half ago. That was pretty dope.
I gotta look that up because
and that's the thing.
That's the thing. It doesn't get pushed. It doesn't get pushed.
That's Rose, put some respect on my man name and get you my advertisement.
Wow, that's crazy. That's the name of the album you're talking about. Wow, that's crazy. I remembered it because Sue Me, I have it on my phone. I love that track.
Right. I know I got off on the tangent. Sorry, y'all.
Nah, it's cool. That's what we're talking about. That's
cool.
What we do here. That's what we do here.
That's cool. And I was just thinking like the transition with hip hop, because Kanye did bring in the backpack scene, but the way it happened was interesting because when he was coming up, he was like overlapping with 50 Cent, and 50 Cent was like the guy at the time. And then he just kind of made that transition. And I'm looking at music now, right? and it seems like it's trying to revert back to like, you know, the gangster vibe or whatever, because, you know, with the popularity of drill music, things like that, it's weird. Things just work in cycles. It's just really, really interesting.
Didn't Kanye release?
You said what?
Didn't Kanye and 50 release an album at the same
on the
day?
same day?
And
That was supposed to be like, that was supposed to be like, this is gangster rap versus new age rap, and that was supposed to be the deciding factor. Like,
yeah, I mean,
which direction
Kanye outsold him. He outsold him on opening week and
by a significant margin too.
Yeah.
I don't think it was particularly close.
Because college kids at the time were listening to Kanye. I'm sorry, white upper class, middle class girls, which are the quote unquote top consumers of music or pop or rap music. Believe it or not, that's the demographic. They were listening to Kanye at the time. You know what I mean? So it's just like that's just what it was.
how do you feel about music now?
Oh man.
Like I just like
rant mode, activate.
I can't really say a rant mode because like I don't listen to the new people as closely, but I know I remember seeing like just random posts of like old heads like trying to get at little kids for hating the music or just making comments about just the music now. Because I know specifically, and I can't say it's this for all music, because the one thing I'll say is that I'm overwhelmed with the amount of choices that are out there. But whatever, I'll say that's like a good thing. But I was disappointed in like some of the way things went. Like I like lyrical music, like I love lyrical music. You know, once in a while, like my fun, my bump and shit. But like I was kind of disappointed in that, where I felt music was getting more simple lyrically. Not the beats, you know, the beats are dope and stuff like that, whatever. I'm not really into that like down, you know, that I don't know what you call it, like lean music, whatever. That shit just makes me want to fucking drink.
That's the mumble rap.
And like do drugs. Yeah, man, I'm not really into mumble rap and shit. But besides that, you know, how do you two being, you know, more involved in that than myself and Edwin, you know, how do y'all feel about the trends in music?
Well, let me jump in first. I know Quill got a lot to say, as always. Me and him had these conversations.
I'm gonna just say something real quick because I know you guys are gonna go in, but I think I have a lot to say too, but I think I could distill like my opinion into music when we were coming up and prior was to, obviously you always had like the club hits, the bangers, whatever, but like music was to make us think, right? Mm-hmm. As opposed to music now is made to make you feel. It's not made to make you think. And I think, I don't know, that's what I gather, right? Because back in the day, you know, you had lyrics, you had concepts, you had rhyme schemes that you could break down. You know, you had double entendres. Like sometimes you would have to listen to the song 2 or 3 times to get what was happening, as opposed to now it's just the feeling, it's the sound. So I think people back then were craving, I guess, meaning from music, and I think now people are like running away from meaning. They just want to kind of like deafen themselves and just feel. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but.
Well, I mean, it changed for me when I got into the music business. All right, that's number one, first and foremost. When I got signed and I really started to learn why certain artists get pushed for certain reasons, why certain artists get deals for certain reasons. And once I saw, yes, this is still America, this is still capitalism at the end of the day. Once I got into the music business, probably like around 2012, 2013, from then on, it changed my entire outlook toward music consumptions. The cats that hate angst or whatever you want to call it. Because I mean, when I came in, it's like I started to understand a different type of deals. Like for instance, we talked about this in past episodes of the base or the rundown. The thing with 360 deals, when you get a 360 deal, the label has control over. They get a agreed upon percentage of every aspect of your career, right? Now, when you come in and Lupe Fiasco, I encourage you guys to go search. He talks about this a lot, why he's quote unquote blackballed from the music industry, because he kind of came to the same realization. Like once you get put on, then all of a sudden they want to change your sound. And they want to hire writers and hire your producers and hire your look and your image. And they want to change you into what they think is going to sell money. And then when it doesn't work out, they blame you.
I still haven't forgiven Atlantic Records for doing that to Lupe.
Exactly. Atlantic Records, for instance, the prime example. I encourage all viewers to, our listeners to just look up Atlantic Records and Lupe Fiasco, just that whole saga. This guy had to freaking have a Black Lives Matter protest outside the building for them to release his album Lasers a couple of years ago. I'll never forget that. So it's just like, but with me personally, I can just talk to me myself. Once I got into the music business per se, and once I really understood the ins and outs and understood the politics behind it, because there's politics and there's money and there's a lot of factors that go into why certain artists get pushed forward and why you hear them on the radio in rotation and this, that, and the third. I was just like, I could sit here and be a pessimist. I could sit here and hate. I'm an artist myself, so I make music. I know what I like, and I know what my listeners or my fans like, and I know what's dope to me. Let me just focus on that. Let me just focus on what I like. I like Drake. You know what I mean? I do. I've always liked him. You know, I understand why Drake is pushed and why he has that machine behind him for a number of reasons over other artists who are just as talented and just as creative and just as good. I understand. I get it. So it's just like, I can sit like, so cats that like bash him, whatever. I'm just like, listen, he makes good music. He has great production. He has writers. Michael Jackson had writers. You know what I mean? So that like the whole ghost writers and ghost producers and all that stuff, like that's a whole nother conversation that me and Quill could get into for days on end. I just know for me that I have my set artists that I enjoy. I enjoy their music. Some of the new guys, whatnot, I'll like a song here or there, and then I'll throw it on the Spotify or I'll add it to the iPod. I still use an iPod. I'll throw it on the iPod. And then I'll still listen to that, you know,
Grandpa
in the whip. You know what I mean? I have what I enjoy and what I like, and I listen to that, and I just don't pay attention. And I don't really care about cats that I don't like, the quote unquote mumble rappers, because some of them, they have interesting songs from time to time, and I'm just like, all right, I'll take that song, I'll ride around listening to that, or work out to that.
We should mumble rap.
No, please no.
No.
I think my vocabulary is too good to mumble rap.
Exactly. Agreed.
I don't have the ability.
The capacity.
I've reached a certain level of vernacular.
Whoa! He said vernacular. You already know it's true. Fuck that. That's a fucking college ass word if I ever heard one.
Me and Quill are comm majors, by the way.
So. I can't go beneath. I can only dumb it down so far. I'm not like 2 Chainz, who's absolutely brilliant, but will dumb it down to like hear from people to really get. I'm not like that, but kind of
that short bus music. It's entertaining though.
Yeah,
short bus music.
Kind of jump in. I'll use my mom for a prime example. I was talking about this earlier with my lady. My mother turned 50 this year. My mother grew up essentially concurrently with rap music.
Yeah.
Like essentially her and rap are like the same age, give or take. Rap just had a birthday. Happy belated. She is the type, she has because she has seen every generation and iteration of rap music. She likes all music. She likes all rap music, even down to the mumble rap, even down to the drill and all of that, because she's seen it all. She's grown with it. And I believe that she's going to be the type that will continue to grow with it and love it forever for what it is. Because it's a different meaning for her, because she came up with that. She said to me early, matter of fact, on the phone just a few minutes ago, she'll never forget the first time she heard him say hotel, motel, holiday. She'll never forget that. She said she'll never forget it at 10 years old. And I'm the same way. One of the things when for example, me and Ugo got the opportunity to perform with MC Lyte, and that was a really cool thing, because that was my moment. Because I remember I grew up on the MC Lyte, I grew up on the Lauryn Hill, I grew up on the Redman, I grew up on Method Man. I shouldn't say meth because that's
Meth.
I grew up on Method Man. So it's like, you know, you can kind of already see the pocket that I'm in. I try to adapt, but I'm really like that old man, get off my lawn type guy as well.
You darn kids with your rap music.
I'm much more traditional than my mother is. Like I basically, this sums it up. I love Kendrick. I love J. Cole. I love the lyrical rappers. These young guys like the YBN Cordays and stuff like that. I think he has immense potential. But I'm not a fan of the mumble raps. I'm not a fan of the Futures. I'm not a fan of the Migos. Like I can pick and choose. I can turn it on. Blah, blah, blah. Hell, I was just rapping to my lady, Versace, because I threw on some Versace cologne. Of course, every time I throw my Versace cologne on, I'm like, Versace producer head on me like I'm Illuminati. So I can't help it. It's popular. That's what it's meant to be. It's meant to stick, meant to be catchy.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's necessarily quality music. And I think that's what I understand more now. Not all music is meant to be long lasting. Not all music is meant to be something that sticks with you. Sometimes you're gonna make music that burns very quickly, and that's what a lot of these young artists do now. That's what J. Cole was talking about, 1985. He said, "Listen, you got these quick burners. You got to make stuff that lasts." And that's the type of music that I look for. I look for music that is going to last the test of time. It can even be the pop type of rap music, but I need that music. I like to have that music that's going to last. You know, can I go back and listen to this 5 years now? Is it still a bump? Am I still going to rock that? If I am, cool, that's it. But if not, it's all right. Like I'm picky in that regard. So,
and going back to the business side of music. I mean, to bully off of Quill's point. I mean, there's a type of deal that's called a demo deal. A demo deal is basically an artist gets signed for literally one song, a single. A lot of artists over the years have signed demo deals. Those are those one-hit wonders. Like, yo, he just dropped this dope. Yo, you hear this single from such and such. Like, matter of fact, what's one? Racks on Racks on Racks. That dude. I don't even remember dude's name. I know.
Yeah, what's his name? The Racks on Racks on Racks guy.
The Racks on Racks on Racks guy. Have you heard dude since?
Never.
No, never to be heard again, because these guys and labels, they still do it to this day. They'll send their scouts out to the clubs or scour the internet. Yo, find something on SoundCloud that has like 10,000 or 5,000 views. Get this guy in here. Tell him that, listen, we're gonna pay you a lump sum advance. Hit these numbers, hit these quotas. You'll have this advance, and then we'll see what happens from there. And that literally means thank you for your business. On to the next one, rinse and repeat. So
it's like a rent-a-rapper.
Exactly, rent-a-rapper. Basically, there's substitute teacher rappers, bro.
So explain it a little bit more in depth. So they get a lump sum, and they have to meet numbers. They have to satisfy certain numbers in order to get like what the remainder of what they were promised, or like potential, or is it?
Yeah, basically, basically, whatever was left on the agreed upon terms. Sometimes it can lead to another demo deal. They'll never sign them though for like, yo, okay, it doesn't go demo deal to full artist deal. That rarely, if ever happens. It's literally for that song. Like, yo, we're gonna sign you for this song, and basically this can tell that you can use this as clout too. You can post on Instagram, yo, I'm signing Warner Brothers. How many of these cats you think of over the years that said, yeah, I signed to Sony, or yeah, I signed to Atlantic, or yeah, I signed to such and such or whatever. A lot of these dudes are signing demo deals. A lot of these dudes are. And some of them are signing artist deals, but it's up to the discretion of the label when exactly your single or album gets released, or your project gets released, or if you, you know what I mean? So it's just, it's a lot of, and that's the politics. That's the politics, because that quarter, say you get signed in December, your label's going to say, okay, when is your album going to be done, or when do you think it's going to be done? And then they'll go back to their people and be like, well, Jay-Z or this person, this one, they're dropping in this quarter, so you can't drop your album there because it's not gonna sell. So then they'll put them on the shelf, and then they're not keeping tabs on you though. They're already thinking about the next artist to just keep the process going, you know? So, I mean, matter of fact, a really good video to watch, and I encourage all you guys to watch it. I'll send you guys the link. Billy Corrigan from the Smashing Pumpkins. Like, I love the Smashing Pumpkins from even when I was a kid growing up in Jersey. Like, he talked about the music business with Joe Rogan. He went on his podcast a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and he broke down in detail how artist deals come together. And this is from the 90s. And this was with rock. You know what I mean? And he basically is like, it's really no different. You know, they were doing the same thing to rappers, because you go on tour, you're touring with freaking House of Pain or whoever, or, you know, whoever, you know what I'm saying? So and they're all talking about the same exact thing, that these record execs, the goal is to get as much out of you as possible, as quickly as possible, because your shelf life is anywhere between 6 months to, if you're lucky, 3 years. You know, that's the window. And if you make it past that,
it's very seldom you see guys now drop get a 5 and 6 album deal. You know, you're not seeing like Drake. Well, Drake had a 6 album deal. Matter of fact, his deal is up whenever he drops this last record. And then like Nicki, for example, Nicki had like a long deal. Same with Wayne. Wayne, he got like, it's a gift and a curse. You know, you have that stability, but at the same time, it can be a bit of an albatross as well. You know, so really, you want to get a deal that really works best for you, but you're not going to get that on your first deal. You might not even get that on your second deal. It's hard to get established.
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely. I mean, most artists really shoot for, and this is what when Cats asked me for my input with the business side of it, I'm just like, yo, what you really should do is shoot for a joint venture or a distribution deal. So basically, you have your own label, and it's more so a partnership. Like, listen, I want you to distribute my album. Obviously, you're going to get your cut, and it's going to be favorable for you on the first go around. But I don't want to be with you. That I want this commitment to be as short term as possible, because the more profitable you are, the more labels or whatever entity it is, they want to attach themselves to you as long as possible. Like Joe Budden is seeing that himself, like the Joe Budden podcast. I was just watching yesterday. Joe Budden was like, yo, I'm leaving Spotify. But before I leave Spotify, I want you guys to know why I'm leaving Spotify. Because we basically blew all their projections out the water, and I'm underpaid. And they think that they can run that by me just because it's a podcast, not knowing that I was an artist first. So I was underpaid and misused as an artist. You guys are running old game. I already see that. Mind you, the Joe Budden podcast is one of the most popular podcasts in the world, not just the country. Mm-hmm. You know, it's top 5 in Spotify. It's right up there with the Joe Rogan podcast. So
Spotify don't give a fuck because they're about to have a Joe Rogan exclusive. They're like, eat a dick, Joe Budden. We got the white version of you now. Fuck you.
Exactly.
Joe just take his talents to title. That's all that'll happen. Probably.
That's what Cat should do. Black owned right there. Yeah.
Yo, I'm curious how one of the things that I've noticed is that like people are coming out with albums way more frequently than like when we were growing up. And I don't know if maybe it's because time felt like it was slower when we were younger, but it would feel like an album. You know, like I feel like an album comes out now every few months. Like I can't even keep up with Drake's fucking releases and shit like that. Like.
Well, he slowed down. I give you a prime example of who is going to run into the oversaturation problem very soon. DaBaby. I love DaBaby, but he's getting to the point now. You run out of things to say. It's like when Wayne was at his peak, he was on every feature. He had like 3 and 4 and 5 projects out in like a 2.5 and 3 year span. Mm-hmm. You got tired of him. Wayne had a hard fall because it was just like, all right, well, we just kind of sick of you. I mean, how many times are you going to say this line and just kind of mold it for this song, mold it for that song? And the same thing with the topics. DaBaby is going to be a prime example of that. Oversaturation is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Especially I mean, this is it's a 24-hour news cycle, 24-hour social media cycle. Yeah, that's cool or whatever. But it could be a benefit because you can gain traction real quick, but you lose traction real quick. You got to be careful with that oversaturation. Now, you don't want to be an asshole like topping them and holding Kendrick Lamar's album. Was it been going on 3.5, 4 years? So you don't want to be that guy. So yeah, you don't want to go that far. Well, Kendrick's established, and we know what Kendrick is about, so he gets a pass because we know what that's going to be when it drops. But you don't want to be that person dropping every 2 and 3 years because they don't care about you. There's a balance. There's definitely a balance. You have to drum up the demand. I think J. Cole does a good job of this because he wasn't doing features for a long time. I think 2019 or 2018 he finally did features. And he got that last feature. We did like the Gang Starr feature, and then he said that was it. I don't need no more features. I'm cool. I'm done. But J. Cole kind of creates that demand because you don't hear him when he's not making his own music unless it's on his label's music. But he's creating that demand, and I feel like cats now aren't doing that anymore. Like, yeah, you're striking while the iron is hot, so you're making that quick right now money, but you don't have nothing that's going to last because you're constantly making us forget about the last thing. And we're moving on to the next. So when you stop, it's just like, okay.
I think I remember Frank Ocean was somebody that is Frank Ocean the person that like released an album and then there was like mad years in between, and he pretty much like gamed the shit out of Sony and got like this crazy deal. Does that ring a bell to anybody?
He was yeah. A couple of cats did that. Frank Ocean's one. Frank Ocean was one of them.
He tricked them. He did like a visual.
Yeah. Thank you. He tricked them. There we go. Yeah.
He did a visual album for them, but was secretly working on another album working on Blonde. I think behind the scenes. Go
because I think the what is it he called it? The video album?
The visual album.
It was him building some shit. The visual album, wasn't it just him building some shit?
Mm-hmm.
I thought this shit was funny. I brought it up.
I'm not a big Frank fan. I never was a big Frank fan.
Oh, you're not a Frank Ocean fan?
He's got some tracks.
Good lyrics.
I like R&B.
Good lyrics. I'm a traditionalist with my R&B. I'm more in the neo soul thing.
I like neo too.
I like the Jill Scotts of the world. I'm pretty particular. That's my baby mom. Even though she's like old enough to be almost my mom, I still love her to death. I enjoy the Kims of the world. Kim just dropped an album today. It's been 6 years since that man dropped an album, but he had a high demand, so I guess it's a little bit different because he got classics in that realm of music. So it's interesting. It was one point I wanted to hop on. I think you were talking about, Nas and Mulatto dropped on the same day.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard the Mulatto album.
I have not. I've only heard about one track off of Nas's new album. I'm gonna check out Nas's album for sure.
Yeah, get Nas's album. And I was listening to some Mulatto and the whole Queen of the South thing, and I really like that album. I just hate that it came out on the same time that Nas's album came out.
That's the problem. Nas can never just have his album. Like somebody always has to, and sometimes it's Jay-Z. Like I read somewhere where Jay-Z has dropped a project on the same day Nas has dropped a project for like the last 5 or 6 times, and like it's a coincidence. Like, no, it's not a coincidence.
Just can't let Nas be great. I mean, I just wanted to see Mulatto. She has talent. I just wanted to see her get a little bit more fanfare, but nobody was listening to anything. But then you know what? You can't even say that because he only did 45,000 units. But he debuted on number 1, but only had 45,000 units, which is crazy.
It's still number 1. Take the wins where you can.
Yeah. I mean, 45,000 is still pretty insane. It's like if you just think about the vast majority of music that's created, like 99.9999999% of music won't even get that many listens in this entire lifetime. So that's still, because I mean, I guess we're used to like, albums going triple platinum, diamond, shit like that, selling millions of records or whatever. But like even a few thousand like sold, like you're kind of at the top of the food chain. It's just hard to conceptualize because you're always comparing yourself to like the top, the tip top,
Yeah, now everybody can be Eminem.
Yeah.
Eminem can release an album of him breathing for 65 minutes. And he go quadruple.
Oh yeah, he could fart on a record and it's gonna sell. That's it. Like,
really, there's only like maybe 2 or 3 people that's even in that conversation. Like
Wayne,
Drake, Jay-Z.
Well, you know what's funny? Jay has never been a historically huge seller. He's just a historically consistent seller.
Yeah, he's consistent.
He's never this guy that's dropping 8 and 9 million albums on a record like an Eminem or a Wayne, but he's always 2, 3, 4 million. So I mean,
but the thing is, the artists that are timeless that we mentioned, keep coming up in conversation. The ones that they found ways to evolve their sound. The reason why Drake is going to be around forever is because he was really smart in the sense that, okay, I'm going to start out as a backpacker because that's what I am. There's no qualms about it. But as he got more and more established, okay, now we're going to start doing some of the reggae stuff. Now we're going to start doing some of the Afrobeat stuff. Now recently we're going to start doing some of the drill stuff. Now we're going to start doing the freaking Arabic stuff or Spanish. Like he's just going to cross over to as many avenues as possible so that no matter where he is in the world, like somebody has something with him on it that they can relate to, and Jay-Z did a great job of doing that. Even Wayne did a great job of doing that. And Wayne did a bunch of freaking techno records, I think, with like David Guetta. You see what I'm saying? Just crossing over. And those are the type of artists that I really model myself after because, I finished the album back in 2018. I haven't released it yet, because I'm working on a number of visual and movie projects and stuff like that. So I want the music and the film and the television. I want all the stuff to, come out in like a consecutive wave or whatever. But I took that model and I made sure that I crossed over and didn't just do, because I could talk reckless and talk and pop shit forever. Like I enjoy doing it, but it gets played out after a while. Like if I just came out with 10 tracks of me just talking crazy, it's like, all right, cool. But track 1 sounds like track 6 and track 4 sounds like track 7. I never want that. I want each and every record, and Quill does this too, want each and every record to be like its own chapter, to be its own independent film or whatever, because those are the best. Those are the best projects, that you can't skip over, or that you look for a certain thing in each record, which makes it timeless and enjoyable.
What about the more niche acts, right? Because you have acts that don't really have mainstream success, but they have crazy international recognition and they get a crazy amount of plays and they do tours. I'm trying to think of like guys like Jedi Mind Tricks or like MF Doom, guys that don't have any mainstream success, but they've been at it for like 20 plus years and they could still pull shows, they could still sell out in like fucking Prague or Holly. like random ass places, and even on YouTube or wherever they post their music, they still get hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of views. I'm just curious, like, because those seem like anomalies, but I think they show sort of another avenue where you could kind of be like a niche person and really build your own, like, almost cult following. Like, people who listen to like MF Doom are like MF Doom fans. Like,
facts. I'm one of them.
Yo, like, you can't say anything. Like, you can't say anything about it. Same thing in like Jedi Mind Tricks, like you
Flatbush Zombies. Flatbush Zombies is another group.
Yeah, or even sadly, I don't like to bring these guys up because they're fucking terrible. But even Insane Clown Posse, like they're fucking trash.
Yeah, the
but they literally have people ready to die for them. Like they just built this crazy cult following, and that's like another model that like a lot of people don't mention, but like you see it, you know.
Tech Nine's an idea.
Oh yeah, Tech Nine. But like even at points like Tech Nine has crossed into like the more sort of like mainstreamish stuff. Like he's like collaborating with people.
A little bit.
You want to talk about core fan base?
What, my fan base?
No, I'm just saying core fan base. Explain that concept and why it's important to what we're talking about now.
Oh, you mean core fan base, which is on
core, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's important because like I mentioned earlier, commercial and mainstream, that whole lane or avenue is political. It's based on politics, it's based on money, it's based on a lot of factors that are beyond the artist, even for the most successful artists. You know what I mean? Even for the top tier artists, it's still political. It's still based on, whose turn is it? Like, nah, it was your turn 3 years ago. It was your turn last year. Okay, you're going to get the big push. You'll get the Grammy this year. You see what I'm saying? But the importance of the core, your day ones, your day one following, because at the end of the day, those are the ones that you're going to, like pre-COVID, those are the ones you can rely on to show up to your shows, to buy your merchandise, to actually physically buy your album, to actually invest money into you, and your music and your brand, really your brand, because your brand and your music, they go hand in hand. That's what a lot of artists don't understand that coming in. They just really think that it's just about the music, and it really isn't. It really, really is not just about the music. Like when you become an artist, your core following, they understand that. They understand that, okay, yes, you make music that I love, that I would die for or whatnot, but you're still a person. And I care about you, the person. I care about track 6 that you never play at shows live, but I always listen to, and I know that you made it. So I have that connection with you. So if you put out a new t-shirt or a sneaker, or you're endorsing a freaking liquor or some type of product or whatever, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to support it because I care about you. That's your core day one following. Those are the people that, honest to God, you should care about more than anybody, because they're the ones that keep your lights on. You see what I'm saying? So that it's important to cater to your core fans. Absolutely.
And that's what these guys maximized on their core fan base, on their day one people. They have maximized that, and then now that they've maximized that, that's so solidified now to where they don't have to worry about that. They already know it's automatic. They already know. All right, we're gonna do this. That's pretty much a fact. We're gonna do this amount of records. We're gonna sell this amount of tickets to the show. We already know. So that's that niche following. They have maximized the core. What they lack in reach, they make up for in base, as in that core following, that core fan base.
Yeah. So how do you? Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask, like, how do you cultivate that, right? Because I just noticed the difference between guys who. I'm not even going to say names because I'm not going to assume that these people that are hot right now aren't going to be here in, 3 months. But, but whatever. We can assume that they're not going to be there. How does one cultivate like an MF Doom type fan base? Like, how does one, because it seems like to me, like all the greats, right? Like all the greats, when we're talking about like Nas and Jay-Z, I think those are the people who did it both ways, right? They had the commercial sets, consistent commercial success, and they have those day one fans, and then they grow with them and they support them. But it's less obvious to me like how you build that core day one sort of cult following as opposed to like the commercial side, because commercial side, it just seems like, okay, right place, right time, right push, that type of thing. But how do you cultivate that day one fan?
Well, I mean, pre-COVID, it was performing live. That was the biggest draw. And I'm talking doing small venues first. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Like, talking about somebody's basement.
Yes.
Somebody's basement
so they could touch and feel it. Like,
we end yes, doing a shit ton of them. Like Logic, for instance. Like Logic has day one followers, but Logic was doing freaking doing cafes and basements and attics and shit like that. Like he was doing like small venues, and he was doing them in high volume too. Now this is all pre-COVID. Like COVID like kind of scraps that model for the time being, really until 2022 realistically. So I couldn't answer that question moving forward, Ed. I definitely couldn't, but I could just tell you how cats did it in this current generation, in this current era, is they created that cult following by doing smaller venues, more intimate venues, talking to their fans, actually talking to them online, on Twitter, retweeting them, talking to them individually on Instagram, whatever, and just doing it in high volume so they make their fan base feel like that they're actually in their life and actually a part. Like, yo, oh shit, I just saw him live. He's talking to me right now. That's the homie. Or they come and then they come to multiple shows. They'll come see the same person like 3 or 4 times. Like I was watching No Jumper. I love his YouTube page. Like he's a hip hop journalist, and he like hangs out with Lil Pump before he got put on. And like, yo, dudes would show up to like Lil Pump shows. He'll do like 5 shows in 1 week. You got some cats driving to like all 5 shows, or like 3 out of the 5 shows. See, they're gonna see the same set that they saw on Thursday, on Saturday, but that's the homie. I ride with him for whatever. Like that's the guy. And every time they show up to that show, they're gonna buy some merchandise, and they're gonna buy a hat or buy a shirt, and then get a picture. And that's the day one. Lil Pump could drop a song in 5 years from now. That same person that was showing up, they're gonna be there. They're gonna listen.
You know, back in the old days. Early 90s. You think of the Nas's, you think of the Jay-Z's, even the Biggies. They were already hood superstars, you know, by the type of activities they were already in. That they just used that to springboard into that music. So they already had a following. You know, like, yeah, we hustle, but we got this too. We got this rap thing. And they were like, people were Nas fans years before he came out. What Illmatic dropped? What, 94?
Like 94 or 95, I believe.
94.
No, 94. 94.
Yeah, 94.
So Nas had literally was building up his clout. He was building up his core following back from like 90, 91. Jay-Z was around in like 89. Yeah. you know, they were already hood superstars. And they got on.
Cats don't even know that. A lot of people think Reasonable Doubt is Jay-Z's first album. It is. It really isn't. It isn't. His first album was In My Lifetime. that was his first official solo project. I think he dropped like a duet project even before that. I don't remember the name of it when he was going under a different name. But his first solo Jay-Z project was In My Lifetime. It had Imaginary Players on there. It's still one of my favorite songs he ever made. And when I saw him at Barclays Center a couple years ago, he performed it, and I was hyped because I've seen Jay-Z like 6 times, and he had never performed that. But
he never performs it. I got a friend who was a super fan. He got dapped up by Jay. Jay poured him a bottle, a glass of Ace champagne.
Nice.
And he was standing next to Kool Herc singing the songs. I had the opportunity to go to that concert. I didn't. Me and the lady was going through some stuff. I decided to stay and work it out with her instead of going to this show.
Boo!
And it's turned out wonderfully. So I'm completely happy with that. But that fucker, shut up. That fucker, he's been to both B-side concerts, and it's so rare you don't see Jay doing those rarer tracks, because a lot of those tracks, I know he did a lot of them over like the In My Lifetime stuff. Like Reasonable Doubt did come out first, but he commercialized. Puffy got involved.
Business.
Puffy got involved, and that was that. Because you know how Puffy is.
Yeah.
Puffy goes that glitz and the glamour, and then you end up with I Know What Girls Like.
Dude, the 2 of the biggest artists of all time, we mentioned them, Jay-Z and Lil Wayne, their companies signed distribution deals. Like Rockefeller signed a distribution deal with Def Jam, and Cash Money Records, they signed a distribution deal with Universal. This is how it started. You know what I mean?
And got lucky, all on hustle money.
Really,
All
yeah.
hustle money.
Exactly. So yeah, the model changes, but it doesn't change to for our viewers. Like at the end of the day, like this is the world this world we live in.
I ain't hustling cocaine.
I'm not either. I've got a clean record.
So Quill, how do you envision your career panning out? Like, I'll make it like a 2-part question. Like, what is your sort of ideal career path, or where you want to take this music, and what do you think is realistic, especially given the current circumstances with COVID and everything?
I don't have the desire to be the biggest, hugest megastar. That's not really my personality at all. I'm pretty laid back, pretty chill guy. I do it for family. I do it for friends, that real core group of followers that I have. I always think of it like I'm multifaceted. Yeah, I have a career. I have a pretty great career in the professional sense and improving in that. And then I have this rap career. It's like I'm greedy. I want to win on all levels. I want to win everywhere. And I envision myself taking the music. Yeah, I do want to take it seriously. I don't know if I'll ever sign a big, huge deal. If I ever have, put it like this, if the opportunity presented itself, and Ugo knows, that's hard. Yeah. It's hard. I mean, it's really hard. There's no guarantee. It takes the right person in the right place listening to you. And with this climate, we just don't know when or how that's going to happen these days. You know, I see myself. I'm not gonna force it, but I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna go where it takes me. I hate to give a cliche answer, but I kind of feel like that's kind of the best answer, because you really don't know. I don't want to pigeonhole myself and say, okay, I want this and it has to be this. I need to be selling 25 million records on singles and ringtones and all of that shit.
Ringtone, Soulja Boy.
Hey, the Soulja Boy's still rich off of that.
He's still making money off of that. Still getting royalties to this day off of that.
So,
you know what I mean?
And his video game consoles.
Yeah. yeah.
Son, the fucking shit he dished out, this fucking asshole, son.
Bro, that has to be money laundering. There's no way that was like any sort of legitimate.
They're not.
I think so. I think they tried to. I think they got sued or some bullshit. Like, it was some fucking ridiculous. You know how you get those Chinese knockoffs of like video game consoles and shit like that? That's what this guy did. He went to China and then he just bought like a fucking bunch of like a pack of this shit and then sold it.
Well, he's been a hustler forever, because he used to sell like retweets and mentions for a while, like $2 a piece. I'm trying to think some of the other things that he did.
Well, the ringtones, he was the first to really capitalize off of ringtones. Yeah. Like that.
He used to do on LimeWire when he got big on the internet. He used to. So what he did is that, like, the big songs of the day, like Kanye, stuff like that, like he would put out his music under like those titles, and that's one way he's done so much shit. I'm pretty sure there's like some sort of like. Like
he was a scammer, 100%.
Yeah, 100%
scammer.
Yeah, you know, but what Quill had mentioned about, you know, the levels of it, man. Like, again, talking from somebody who's been signed, it's like once you get signed, like it's just another wave of bullshit to deal with. Like, there's a whole nother avenue of, okay, so now you're signed, so now you're expected to do this, do that, and then once you get signed, then the politics come in. Okay, now this person's song is going to get pushed over this person's song because this is the type that person A wants this and person B doesn't want this, and it's a snowball effect, bro. It is not, and not to be the pessimist, it's just to be the realist here, as somebody that has actually been there, done that, you know. So, you know, I completely agree with my brother, 1000%. In that regard, I feel like the model that he's taken, we've had these conversations off camera, like it like the fact that we're both comm majors, and the fact that we both podcast, and the fact that we found different avenues to use our talents. We're still musicians. Don't get it twisted. We still do this music shit, and we're amazing at it. You see what I'm saying? Like we don't shy away from that. But we're not pigeonholed to just that. There's so many other things that we are good at that we want to do. Music is just one chapter. You know what I mean? Like I was co-writing a script for the past 5 hours yesterday, literally the entire day, working on like scenes from a drama. You know, that's the type of stuff where my energy's been on quarantine.
Hey, Jay-Z gave us the blueprint, pun intended. Jay-Z gave us the blueprint.
Big facts.
You gotta win always.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta win it always. And like I say, I'm greedy in that sense. I want to be able to be successful in everything I do. I understand that there are going to be failures along the line. I understand there's going to be setbacks, but you definitely want to make sure that you're staying on that winning track, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Just writing scripts, writing. You Go Boy the musical, like, trying to win Tony Awards and shit.
Yeah.
I can see that being a musical. You Go Boy.
It's La La Land, Brooklyn. That's what we were writing.
We started the opening scene is in his mama's house eating that good chicken.
Yeah. The soundtrack is Ice Cube. It was a good day. The musical. And Mama cooked the breakfast with no hog.
We should have Lin-Manuel Miranda direct this shit.
You know. Gotta stay busy, man. Gotta stay busy. You guys got any more questions? I mean, we got tons of music insight. We got stories for days too. I know we got.
Yeah. So like,
go ahead, ask. I was just gonna ask about Dancing with the Devil.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Talk about that. Talk about getting in bed with fucking Satan, bro.
Oh my!
Hey, Dancing with the Devil.
No, first of all, Ugo is the devil. I've seen him do some things and pull some women and be like, "I'll holler at you later." I'm the nice guy. You don't ever see me do this. I used to be a killer. But he was a killer.
Oh my God.
He was a killer. Listen, I was slick with it. So my game was sold up real nice and easy. But this man, my serial killer. Didn't matter where we was at, didn't matter who we was with, serial killer. I'm telling you.
Man, he'd be at the nursing home. He's like, "Excuse me, ma'am."
Terrible. Oh my God. Okay, so I know exactly what story he's talking about. I'm not gonna talk.
I've never scored off of Ugo. He greedy. He keep all the action, man. All the action.
Shout out to State Patty's Day at Penn State. We ain't gonna talk about that. Anyway, one story I will tell. You wanted Ed, you wanted to hear the Dancing with the Devil story? Is that the one you wanted?
No, that's what DK wanted.
DK, is that the one you want?
No, that's what I refer to as any type of shady behind the scenes type shit.
All right, I'll give this one. I'll try to keep it brief because I know Quill's got stories for days as well. Okay, so basically, this was in 2014 or 2015, toward the end of my tenure at the independent label I was signed to. Basically, we were running around with we thought he was a music exec. He was not a music exec. He was a music consultant for Warner Brothers Music. This guy at one time did work for Warner Brothers, but we found out later on that he was fired from Warner Brothers because he mismanaged some artists who took their advance money and wasted it at a casino in Atlantic City. Yeah. True story. Can't make that up. So anyway, we're running around with this guy. I'm not going to use his name for legal purposes. And he's when we had won a showcase competition where finishing first place, the record company, it was like 3 acts of us. We all performed on this one night in New York. We basically won having this guy as our cosign. That was the first prize. You have this guy as your cosign who's basically your into the music business. So we're running around with this guy and he's taking us to meetings and this, that, and the third. We went to the freaking CBS building across the street from the Today Show with the Tonight Show, I'm sorry, with David Letterman. Like we were in New York early and often. Now, when we had big major meetings, quote unquote, or whatnot, I'm an artist. I wasn't a partner, a founding partner of the record company, so I wasn't allowed at those meetings. But my man's, shout out to Randy Troy, that's my guy. We were actually co-writing the script last night that Ed Boy's having fun with, La La the musical. Randy was at the meeting, and Randy is like me. We're both huge Batman fans, so we just basically live by his code. If we feel stuff is going left or we're not sure about something, we'll like record a conversation, but with somebody being like shady or whatnot to use it against them if we feel like feel like they're doing something crazy or illegal or whatnot, or something that could come back just to cover our tracks. So this guy recorded. He went to the meeting because he was named the partner at the time, and he recorded the conversation. I think he had it in like in a USB device or whatever in his pocket, or like on his keychain or something like that.
Illegal. And he's like that kind of guy. He's not that kind of guy.
Yes. So he recorded the whole meeting. So during the meeting was with another guy who was, I think he was a consultant as well for a record company. I'm not sure which one, allegedly. And this guy at the meeting, he was basically like, listen, what you guys trying to do? You know, and our people, our representatives at the time were just like, yeah, we're trying to get a distribution deal or a joint venture because we've got a label. You know, we're not really looking to sign a crazy lifelong 720 deal with anybody. We just want a distribution deal, you know, because we have a label already. So the guy, clear as day on the recording, I still have it. I still got it. It's still in my archives. He says clear as day. He's like, listen, I mean, you know, we can go with the distribution deal, or you guys could just dance with the devil. And then we were just, and so the whole conversation.
That's a fucking movie. That's not even like who actually says that in real life.
So USB drive.
So our reps, this freaking devil's advocate with Al Pacino, like our reps are just like, yeah. So what does that mean? Like what is dance with the devil? It's like if you dance with the devil, you'll never have to worry about money ever again. So, or you guys can get the distribution deal. So our people asked for the distribution deal. They did not want to dance with the devil. And I just know, probably about a month or so after that, we never heard from dude again. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he like turned into a vampire or whatever, like Eddie Murphy and Golden Child. I don't know what the hell happened, bro. I just know that I haven't heard from dude since. And you know, he could be a demon. Who knows? Or a vampire.
That was actually Satan. Actually Satan.
So what do you think Dance with the Devil meant? What do you think that meant?
I've heard that term before. I've heard a number of different phrases or verbiage in the dealings of the music business. Dance with the Devil basically is basically an agreement that you make with a record company or a record executive or somebody that's high in power, basically that they're always like, you'll never have to worry about money. You're always going to be paid, but they own a portion of you forever. They own a portion of your masters. They own a portion of your licensing, your publishing. They will always be attached to you for life. For instance, give you a prime example. Kanye West, I'm pretty sure.
And they can grab you in the pussy.
Or grab you in the pussy.
Yeah.
Kanye West has a lifetime deal, I believe, with Def Jam, I believe. He can't retire. Like they released the actual language of the contract. They released it online a couple months ago. And you guys can look it up. I'm not making this up. I saw it. It's on public record. He cannot retire. He's not allowed to retire from music. He can't just come out and say a tweet like, listen, I'm not making music anymore. Like he can't. He legally can't do that. He always is going to have to be dropping something for the rest of his life. That could
be a case of malicious compliance where he could just drop doo-doo like on purpose, just like fucking just do bullshit tracks all the time.
He did drop a track called Scoopity Poop or whatever.
Poopity doopity.
Yo, but
It was lit. It was.
But that was dope though. That was kind of dope though.
But that's to answer your question. That's what it is. You know, that's basically a lifetime 720 or lifetime 360 deal, and I'm not really interested in that. There's too many things in this world that I want to accomplish and want to do. Music is just, again, one chapter. I'm not dancing with no devil in any platform. I'm sorry, my soul matters to me.
Fair enough. So we know this is like the early part of the story arc where our hero Hugo Boy, right, talks about not dancing with the devil. 3 years later, he's dancing with the devil.
If you see me like partying with like David
fucking
Bizarre,
Harvey Dent over here, he's gonna be.
What about you, Quill? You have any crazy stories like that?
Oh yeah, he's got.
Anyone ever asked you to dance? Anyone asked you to dance with him?
This guy. Can we talk about this guy?
No, most of my fun stories are random shit like getting. There's a story. There's a story I can tell. So, my friend, he's still on probation because of this. This is terrible because of this guy. So I got mixed up into a music situation, but a label beef.
Label.
Sounds like Empire.
I'm aware of this.
Mind you, nobody has LLCs or nothing like that. Not like the situation I'm in now. Like nobody has that has the paperwork situated. So labels. So we're at the label situation there. They had left where I was at the current time. I was working on the project that was coming out, and I wanted to stay and finish it. Man, on my word, I'm going to finish it. You know, I started it here. This is where our production is. Fine. No problem. You know, so they left and did their own thing. I didn't have a problem with that. Some of my off-brand guys. Long story short, there was a video on YouTube, a music video that was taken down, ostensibly taken down, and there were some words exchanged because they had like 10,000 views. It was doing pretty good at the time. 10,000 views was decent, especially for guys with like no real major backing. So that was good. That was from the muscle. And video gets taken down over a dispute. The dude was super petty. So long story short, this dude's car window gets knocked out, and they think that my guys did it. Mind you, both of these guys might be 220 pounds combined. One has half a leg, and the other one's just a skinny guy. They're no taller than me. One is like 5'4", the other one's like 5'7". Now I'm 5'8". So there was a gun involved. Long story, it was locked in the glove compartment. Both of them got locked up. It was a mess. Long story. So one day we decide we are. I got asked to shoot for the gentleman. Actually, I'm with the label in the label now. It's funny how all these things work in circles. With my youngin, he was doing a show for the showcase with this gentleman. So you can understand I'm in a pretty precarious position because I got loyalty, then I got business. You know what I mean? So I shows up. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I shows up. This motherfucker has armed security and signs with my friend's pictures on it. These men are not allowed.
What? That's fucking petty.
Wow.
And under any circumstance, they are not allowed in the building.
Wow.
So maybe being a dick, I called my friend, and I called the troublemaker friend, not the ones that were in trouble because they didn't need no more beef because they were still in court. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna send you this picture. I sent him this picture. Don't don't you know this motherfucker comes, he shows up. Now it's a whole thing outside. He just did it just to start shit. There's a whole thing outside now because when he put his glasses on, and because he can't see worth the shit, and it's like transition, so he had him like real transition. He was actually able to get in
with his sign on
the wall and seeing
some fucking superhero shit.
No, just seeing the shock, awe, and disgust on the dude's face when he saw my friend, like, yeah, so what's up?
Wow.
Just starting shit.
Wow.
And to start, nothing happened. No fisticuffs happened. It could have happened because dude's a bitch. But it's just funny. It's just random predicaments. Yeah, I've saved guys from imminent disaster. One guy, he's passed on now. This dude he fell off like this 6-foot stage, and I just so happened to catch him. I was standing there, and I caught him like baby out of a burning building. Caught him. And he's like, "Thanks, man. I appreciate it." So every time I saw him, he dapped me up like, "Appreciate you, man. You saved my life, man. You saved my life." And I'm like, "Shit, man. I did."
Yo, fuck this music shit. Just be a fucking superhero. Like
what? Too funny, man.
That's great.
Too funny.
Like, do you find music to be like a chaotic industry? Because it seems like I hear stories, people who are involved, not even just with music, but just with arts in general. Like, there's a lot of weird characters, right? And there's a lot of like chaos that goes on. Do you find that to be the case, or is that just kind of like a stereotype?
Oh, I got stories that attest to that for days. At the end of it depends. It depends.
Okay.
It's dependent on who your immediate circle is. Like, so when you come into a situation of, or a label or whatever, the crew that you bring with you. Okay, if you bring dudes from the block that don't know the left from the right, that are just always on green, ready to get down or whatever, yeah, there's gonna be some shit because they're not. And then you throw money, and then you throw alcohol, and then you throw women, and then you throw access. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it tends to get. It tends to get wild.
Recipe.
It tends to get wild. Like, for instance, I remember I shot. This was in Philly too. I shot a video. It wasn't my video. All right. Now the label I was signed to, they wanted to shoot a single called "Drop It Low," and the two artists that were
called "Drop It Low." What was this? 2003? Like
this was 2000. This was 2012, I believe.
No, I know. It just sounds like a 2003 ass title.
It was. I'm not gonna use dudes' names because they don't deserve the free press. But anyway, I wasn't on the record. I was just there as an extra in the video, making a cameo. All right. So the original plan was to shoot this video in New York because shout out to my boy Randy Troy was shooting it. He shot all the videos, all the visuals for the record label and myself. He shot and all the pictures and videos. So he wanted to shoot the video in New York because that's where he had juice. That's where he had access. That's where he's like, yo, I can get us a club. I can get us extras. I can get us wherever we need. Let's shoot it in New York. The label wanted to shoot it in Philly. Randy's not from Philly. I'm not from Philly. The two artists who were featured on the song are not from Philly, by the way, either. One is from New Jersey. The other one, I think, is from New York. So you're gonna have.
So why?
So they're gonna have two non-Philly artists shoot a video in Philly. It's already off to the races. Okay, so so they were. The record is called "Drop It Low." So ideally, you want a lot of girls in the video, right? Am I right? You want a lot of girls. Okay, so 2 models showed up for the video. 2. Just 2. Just 2.
You can CGI the rest. Come on, bro.
Okay, I don't know what like Zack Snyder technology you want to use to superimpose my girl.
Microsoft Paint.
All I know is We had access to this big ass super club for like 3 or 4 hours. We had Freeway, shout out to Freeway from Philly. Freeway showed up to Cameo, and we got 2 girls in the video, and just hella dudes. I'm pretty sure there was an altercation at some point. The video was never released because it looks crazy because there's 2 girls in it.
And mad guys.
Sounds like a porn, bro.
Music video or some shit. Like
this episode of Blacked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, some other girls showed up eventually later on, but they're not video girls. They're not
regular girls.
They're just regular off the block girls or whatever. They were just like
regular.
Video.
We don't want regular. Come on.
But it was madness. It was madness. Mind you, there was a red camera there as well. Red camera is one of the most expensive cameras in the world. Like red cameras, they use those for freaking House of Cards uses a red camera. Freaking Spike Lee uses red cameras. Like that was there. A glide camera was there. A slow motion camera was there. And you have 2 non-Philadelphia artists in Philadelphia.
What was the rationale for filming in Philly? Like what? Like why?
Okay, the our CEO of the record label was from Philly, and it was his birthday, and he wanted to shoot the video on his birthday. That was the rationale.
Oh my god! That label was doomed to fail. That label is doomed to fail. That's such a fucking egotistical ass, useless fucking. Oh my god! Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, that's not the first time that happened. There's another one I can tell you guys off camera. That it involves a birthday on a day of a video that makes no sense. But yeah, but to answer your question, it's all about the company you keep. You know, if your circle has a bunch of idiots in it, it's not going to help. It's not going to help when you add money and women and drugs and alcohol and access. It's only just doomed. It's doomed to fail from the beginning. So try to keep some level-headed people around you. That's why my circle is very tight, just like Quill's. Like I don't really hang around people that are up to no good because it's not a good recipe at all.
Makes sense, man. Makes sense. That's wise, bro. I feel like Quill. I have a feeling he has so many stories, but I don't want to ask him too many questions because this shit will probably go on for hours.
It'll go on forever and ever and ever. You know, you can tell stories all day long. We can just sit here and rehash. I mean, like I said, I'm on y'all time. I'm free 99 an hour. So for now. I'm free for the first 10 minutes. Free for the last hour and a half. No,
we'll have like in the future. We'll definitely have like a story episode. Like cats could come on and share or whatnot. Because Quill's got a bunch. I've known this dude for a couple of years now, and even Penn. Like we could just go on with just Penn State stories. Like that's a whole chapter
Penn
in
State
itself.
stories.
All of us have.
Everybody got Penn State stories. Son.
I wouldn't even want to put those on. I couldn't record those shits, bro. That's off camera.
That's called classics.
Yeah. That's
going to Penn State made me realize that like people are interesting. People are very, very interesting. Like I did not
get the fuck out of here. Say what you're really trying to say. He said interesting. He's like, no, people are stupid. That's what he wanted.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. People are.
That's what he wanted to say.
Like TV show taught me that like everybody in college was smart, a genius, could do mental math, like that fucking card counting shit. And then I go to college and I'm like, you motherfuckers are here just because you could afford the fucking bill for the most part. Like that's pretty much it.
That's how
whatever. That's how. We usually do you freestyle?
I don't do crazy freestyle. I'm not blessed with the gift of
gift of gab
freestyle. I can't give a verse though.
Because we have this little thing called the Artist Corner, and we do it like at the end. Ugo's done a few.
They made me do it.
Yeah. We voluntold them. But yeah, we were hoping you could, spit a little something. Doesn't have to be, anything off the dome. Maybe something you've written before. poetry, whatever.
Okay, that I can do. So who's lead? Normally I'm the one who leads off of these things.
The floor is yours. I'm in the audience today.
I've always been the table setter. Actually, I've only out of the songs that we've done, I think I've led off just about like all of them, except for maybe like one. But
ooh, competition.
I'll give you I got 2 verses, 2:16, so it'll be 32 bars in total that I can give y'all, and then we can rock and see what Ugo's got new, because I haven't heard.
Ooh, spicy.
There's nothing. There's no flexi bars. This is just thoughts. This isn't my flex bars. Not today. But I can start this off. Do y'all have a theme before people go in, or we just do it?
All right, let me. You want to do it? This is the artist corner. Usually, Fab does, but he's not here. This is the artist corner. We got Quill. What's his Quill Will, right?
Oh yeah.
Just so I don't sound stupid. We got Quill Will here. Do your thing, bro.
All right. Let me say, can't always stay woke because I dare to dream. Besides, reality ain't all that it's cracked up to be. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. When you're from a place where things ain't really what they appear to be, or so it seems. Blurred lines rip the fabric of time and space at its seams. Ambition is my drug, hooked like vintage Kareem. Future bright, but my Ray-Bans tint at the scene. Keep me grounded. Flights on a rainy day. Storms in my mental got me lost trying to find my way. But there ain't a GPS that leads you to success. Got to stay up, but this Hennessy relieves my stress. Looking for the answers at the bottom of the bottle. While life is racing by me and I'm mashing on the throttle. God body excellence. This is not a fluke. It's like these verses came from Luke the way I'm passing on the gospel. So
that was
that's so it's a little something right there. Bars. I got one more I can give y'all. Okay. This is newer. I've been fiddling around with this. Level after level, devil after devil, iron sharp as iron. I was built to never settle. Blessed to be the man I am, can live my life in peril. Focused on the task at hand, his purpose for this vessel. The word demands us all to be strong and courageous, standing in the face of evil. He'll never forsake us. Let love be genuine. Hold fast to what is good. But I really don't know if these rules apply as they should, because it's brothers killing brothers, cops killing brothers, diamonds in the dirt, sons buried by their mothers. And so many of our queens adorn obituary covers. Let her know that heaven is the only thing that's above her. Be fierce in pursuit of your mission. Hold steady when the storm gets to fogging your vision. Understand that there is a greater purpose for your life. Faint ain't failed me yet. I've been stopped walking by my sight.
Hey. Woo! Hey.
Boys.
Told you.
Funk Master Flex.
Funk Master
Funk Master
Flex.
Drop a bomb on that.
Cypher, don't get gassed.
No pressure, Hugo.
Let's see what I got. Shout out to Quill Will. Appreciate you coming out, bro.
Absolutely.
On another level, yo, this feel like heavy metal, and I'm coming straight from Jersey, so I'm fighting with the devil. Get it? Yeah, fighting with the devil, and it's hard for me to settle. Yo, I feel like heavy metal. Yeah, coming straight from the top and straight from the dome. I came from home like it's Rome. Yeah, like Ichabod Crane, I'm headless, tremendous, relentless. Strictly got J's on my feet. J's with the crease, strictly through the crease, up the street, over the top, over the head, like a toupee, a souffle. I'm pop, I'm not, I'm hot, it's rock. I've been hot.
Devil. I like that.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. I'm here till Thursday.
I'll be here all week. I'll be here all week.
And that's the base.
Hey.